Hey, Grappling Dads, back again. We're going to talk about a couple things today. Well, one, mat enforcers, and two, should you in fact smash the white belts? I'm Paul.
Oh, sorry. Show's over.
Yes. Why wouldn't you? Isn't that why they're there?
Who else do you smash?
It seems like that's why I was there when I was a white belt. That's why I ask. Like, should we continue this? Should we continue doing this? Is this the right thing?
It's a good thing to talk about. I'm Kip, by the way.
Excellent.
I think everyone knows
People need to know your name.
A.K.A. Enrique.
Perfect.
Trying to make up some sweet aliases.
So we're doing this a couple days early because you remembered last minute that your daughter has an orchestra concert.
Yes, on a normal Tuesday slot.
When do you have time? I'm like, right now. Do you have an idea? No.
No.
I'll
get one though.
Let me get on bjjee.com.
Did you see we got bitched at by somebody over in Europe? It's like, dude, that's like my number 2 favorite site. Oh,
I mean,
why do you hate on it? I'm like, actually, I don't. I saw some other sites. I'm like, oh no, I mean, some other articles. I'm like, oh, that's not bad at all.
I don't hate them all. As a matter of fact, I like them a little better than Jiu-Jitsu Times, if I'm honest.
Yeah, they have good writing.
What I don't like is they're a little too short sometimes. Like expound and extrapolate people for one.
A little bit.
And then BJJEE is just fun to say.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's a mouthful.
It's not good. Name.
Not the kind you like.
No.
All right. So, do your thing before we go. I was going to get right into it. I'm like, we have stuff to say.
We do. So we have our sponsors, and thank you to all our sponsors. We have Gameness Gis. Definitely check them out, gameness.com. We love them. We're using the Air Pros. Also, I heard, was reading in and got a little information that the Airs are perfect for beginners gis. I think they're around $100 or so.
Nice.
Which is sweet. And, they're very similar to our gi, just a little bit different. Awesome. So perfect for the beginner gi.
We got a new guy signed up. He's got an old school.
He came in with old school Gameness today.
It's at least 9 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That bitch was old this morning.
They don't have that design anymore. It's retro.
Yeah. Way to look old.
Oh, yeah. It matched his gray hairs.
I wanted to look at his belt and be like, yeah, bro, I get that you have the old gi. It just looks like you've been training for like 15 years and have 0 stripes on a white belt. Doing good, bro. Doing good.
We're talking about you, Jason, just so you know.
Yeah, it's all you, buddy. Okay. And, he probably thinks I hate him. I don't really talk to him a lot.
I don't know. You'll get there.
We'll see. But definitely check them out. We're real proud to be part of that team. And, we love their products. And also, another place that we love is Top Mount Apparel, topmountapparel.com. Definitely check them out. They're way fun. Al is an amazing human being, and so is the crew around him. Actually, Grappler Nation reached out, which is one of those guys over there, and he's looking at podcast equipment. So,
ooh, snap.
Be prepared to be behind us. Boom.
In your face.
Jeremy's a good guy. But definitely check him out. GD10 at checkout for both of those. You save yourself a little money, and we would sure appreciate you sponsoring the people that sponsor us. So, good people all the way around.
Do it.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the 2 that you can actually buy shit from right now. Michael.
Dear.
You got to help us out, brother. Tap tape. Amazing tape. Getting better as we speak. Just not exactly available. As soon as it's available, we'll really start to push it. Oh, we always do anyways because we love Mike and we love the product. But we'll definitely let everybody know as soon as it's available back on Amazon. Just search it every once in a while. It's fun. And you're on Amazon anyways. So
yes,
everyone's on Amazon. It's
every
fine.
Day.
And then we have Croyler Gracie he's from some school. I think it's like Croyler Gracie.
Middle of Nowheresville, USA.
But fucking nowhere. But definitely check him out. Any kind of seminar. He's going to be out at Watertown, I do believe, in November. I was going to go, but then my wife said, no.
Oh, and rude.
It's like, what? She goes, you just bought a new car. So?
What's that have to do with anything? People need cars.
People need cars. I had to go to work. You had a car. So what? Stop with these valid points. But definitely check them out on the Just Jiu-Jitsu podcast. It's not as good as ours, but it's a podcast.
It's about jiu-jitsu.
It is about jiu-jitsu. A lot of great information from those guys.
And World of Warcraft, allegedly.
Wow. And then we have Where we train at is Black Line Jiu-Jitsu. We were there this morning doing a little training. I was there with my daughter, who's going to be competing.
How did that go, by the way?
It's kind of frustrating. Reason being is, but we're in Byron Center, Michigan. Come check us out. BlackLineJiu-Jitsu.com. Go ahead.
Come get some.
Yeah, and all are welcome. So why it was frustrating is Jesse is showing a takedown, which is beautiful.
Which one? Do you know the name?
No.
Describe it in detail.
Here it comes. So basically, you pull them in. You took your, like we were doing the right side, goes underneath their armpit with their head down around your chest, and you reach over. Do that. I don't know what it's called.
Gable grip.
Yeah, well, no, that I know gable grip, and then you fall back to over your shoulder.
Kind of power slam them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
So no, she was showing them those. It was 2 of those, and also that same maneuver from guard.
Oh yeah. I think it's called the 100% sweep or something.
Yeah,
right?
So, yeah, exactly. Yep, I do believe that's it.
Yep.
And he was showing her that, so she had some more things.
Nice.
She's such an asshole. You know how like you get shown something because she's never seen this shit at all, and we get shown something like 3 or 4 tries in, we're like, I think that was right.
Well, what happens is when they clap, your knowledge
it's
is
gone. Right? Doesn't matter. Not with her. First time she's with Jordy, because he's kind of playful size.
Yeah, he's fun size Jordy.
Fun size Jordy, and she does it seamlessly.
Nice.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
She did it like 3 times really, really well. I'm like, what the? You little bitch. And she did the same thing from the guard, from doing it on guard from the bottom. Like, perfect. Not scared to roll around with a guy, twice her size.
Wow.
More than twice her size. Like, just awesome. She killed it. So I was like, oh, wow.
That's cool.
Imagine how far she could have gone.
So people are like
I
that.
was paying more attention.
I'm glad more people aren't like that because I'm not one of them.
I know, never mind.
Not being one of those people, it'd be really frustrating to have everybody else be like that.
Yeah, it'd suck.
Jason comes in today, right? And he's learning the white to blue curriculum. That's why he's there. He's like, I want to learn this. I want to progress in this, and I want to learn it. I'm like, cool. So he's been there, I don't think a month yet, right? Like
3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah. He already has down pat all the 17 attacks and defenses.
Yeah, I saw that.
Done.
Yeah, I saw that when you guys
I'm
were
like,
working.
you've got to be kidding me. And then he's out there. So I corrected him on a couple things. He goes, hold on, let me get my notes and write that down. So he does that. And yeah, every time I showed him something, he wrote down notes, and he did it just perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah, engineer. Go figure.
Yeah, shocker. Fucking Jesse 2.0. Taller Jesse.
Their brains work different, man.
They really do.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm a bit on the jealous side.
I'm not. I
Good
love
for you.
flying the pants.
Just seat of the pants, yeah.
Hey,
Fly by night.
Well, Jen's like, I can't wait to learn all the purple curriculum. I'm like, yeah. I'm going to have to cram that shit in my brain last minute because that's how my brain works. I'm going to have to take 9 months before I know I'm going to test and go, boom.
She did good today. So she comes in. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, she does good every day.
I said, well, here's the funny thing. I'm like, we're going to do these. So she goes, I don't remember them. I'm like, well, start off, grab here. What do you remember? And then she just started slowly remembering.
Yeah.
Like, you do remember. You just didn't think you did. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, she's good. Yep. She's much more of a preparer than I am. Well, you know that.
Yeah. Everybody's more of a preparer than you are, though. Okay.
Hey, I passed my test, bitch. It was a long time ago, but I passed that damn thing.
Did you remember any of it, or is it just like... No, you actually help people. You should remember most of it.
Yeah, I know most of it. I know all. I could pass that test today.
Nice.
But like I said, I think I went for, what was that, 3 or 4 months before that and just started working on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you did.
About that. It's just the way my brain works. Well, you know that. I have to do something. I'm one of those people. I know there's other people out there that do it. Like, I have to do it. But once I do it, it clicks in pretty well. Once I do it right once or twice, it clicks in pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not flawless, obviously, but I can remember it.
What works for me when I'm trying to learn stuff like in a sequence is do number 1 a few times, then do number 2 a few times, then do number 1 and 2, and then learn number 3, then do number 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? And build it up that way. Otherwise, it's just like if I just go through the entire thing, I'm not remembering any of it.
See, I'm kind of a mix because you and I do it totally different.
Yeah, we don't learn the same. That's for sure.
No, that's for sure because you will. You'll do it bit by bit, which I think I could do. I just never take. I'm impatient, so I'm stupid.
Check.
But also, if I can walk my way through it, probably the second or third time I'll be able to walk through the whole thing, the whole sequence. Sloppy as fuck, but at least if I can do it, I can put it starts to become. Then I remember it.
Yeah.
But if I did it piece by piece, I bet that would work. Just never tried it.
True. It's kind of like if the YouTube videos and all the online courses and stuff. Watching it, you can get an idea, but you really, unless you do it and get that muscle memory ingrained in your body, it's no. Well, for me and for you, I think.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure there's black belts out there that goes, yeah, if I watch something on YouTube, I got that. I've been doing it long
Chad
enough.
does that shit. Like, you can tell, like, Chad, either he reads something or something, but you can tell he picks up on that shit.
I think if you have a certain amount of experience, you can do that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Yeah, because we don't.
Yeah, it comes with time, I think. I can do it like...
Oh, you can do it better than me, I'm sure.
Well, I think going to class, right? So when I was a white belt, early blue belt, exactly what we were talking about earlier. I'd watch something, I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. And then you hit the, you clap and then it's gone. It's less now. So then it got to the point where I think I don't have it, but I'm like, oh no, this is similar to whatever, and you kind of pull it out. Yeah,
dipshit your way through it.
Yeah, and I'm noticing as I progress, it's getting easier and easier to look at something one time and going, oh yeah, I get that. I know what that is.
Yeah,
not with everything, clearly. Like there's some.
Well, no, but there's certain things that are going to click that work the stuff that works within what your framework.
Yeah. If it's similar to my own game, especially, right? But if it's like a rolling back take, and like, first off, do my knees do what we're doing?
That was pretty funny watching you guys with Larry showing you shit.
Oh God, I almost had it.
Yeah, close, so close.
Like it doesn't do it.
No, I ended up in the wrong place.
It's okay though. I'm teaching my kids some takedown stuff for the competition coming up too.
Well, you had a little crew here, didn't you, today?
Yep.
Who was here?
Carter and crew, oddly enough.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, they did. So, they come over because they're like, well, I don't know how to start. Like when the ref says go and like your not the politics, right? The etiquette. Yeah. Like coming on the mat, bowing, shaking hands when you're done, shaking hands with the coach and all that kind of fun stuff. A big thing is you can cry and that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. But let's try to wait until
get off the mat.
Yeah, let's get off the mat. Let's go to mom, dad, the coach, and we can cry then.
Your girls did great with that.
Yeah.
I mean, their first competition, that blows their mind because my daughter, who's 2-3 years older. Mm-hmm. Oh, more than that. Holy shit, she's old. Anyways, because she's like 4 years older.
Yes.
And she cried, and then the second match she didn't, and the third match she did because she got punched in the back of the head. Way to go, ref.
It happens.
Dude, her whole head snapped forward. I'm like, oh, fuck, ow. There was no question of, why'd you go straight to your back on that one? Oh, you got slugged in the back of the head. That kid was stupid aggressive.
Yeah, it's tough with kids because they want to be aggressive, but they don't have a lot of the body control.
Oh, he did not.
Very unfortunate.
He did not.
That's why I'm excited and also terrified to watch my kids do that because I don't know what the other kid is capable of, how aggressive they're going to be, what kind of control they have, because I don't want them getting, like exactly like what you're talking about, slammed in the back of the head, poked in the eye, it just makes me nervous as a dad. I know it'll be okay. Just as a dad.
Which is weird for me because I'm not worried for ads. I think she got the worst of it last time.
I think.
Because they moved her up to, and your kids moved them up to expert. And
this is true.
The first two were very respectful and had skill. The last kid, not that he wasn't skilled, but he wasn't like the other ones. Mm-hmm. So he got to the expert level you could tell by aggression. And that's literally, that's what he swung his hand so high and at her head. I'm like, either he's going to punch her in the face or in the back of the head, So he was just super aggressive. And so she got her ass whooped. Then defended herself pretty damn fucking well. She almost got the freaking leg pull sweep from the bottom.
Oh yeah,
almost got that shit. That kid barely caught himself. I was super proud of her because she was just getting whooped, but defended herself really well. Made it a good match, and just tapped uncomfortable. She just wasn't used to it because the kid put weight on her neck, and she's just like, I didn't know how to get out.
Right.
And I was like, she goes, I couldn't.
And it's always okay.
But she goes, I didn't know how to get out. I'm like, no, that's what the fuck you do. If you don't know how to get out, he's just going to sit there because he's got you. Good deal.
Yeah, I try to tell new people that all the time. Like, it's okay to tap to uncomfortable. If you don't know what's going on and you don't feel safe, just tap.
And that's what she did. She was just like, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, good. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the last kid was rough. So I'm less worried about it. I'm just like, Yeah. I go, are you nervous? He goes, no. Jesse, he's like, you getting nervous, getting excited? She's like, no. Just doesn't really faze her.
I haven't asked my kids. They just seem pretty happy and excited to do it. So
That's good. I'm glad they're getting a little fire back for it. It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, me too. It's been helping the drive to go to jiu-jitsu. So
Which helps.
yeah, it helps a lot. So
Helps a lot.
I like it. All right. So should we or should we not smash on the white belts?
Yes.
Of course. So
Moving on.
so on bjjee.com, it's your obligation to smash lower belts. So not even
Ooh.
just white belts, but lower belts in general.
Yes.
And they give reasons and stuff, and we'll go over it, and we'll agree or disagree with what they're talking about.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right. So, if you're a higher level BJJ belt, it is likely the case that you often go easy on the lower belts, and probably for a good reason. You don't want to get their spirits crushed and discourage them. That's especially the case if they're fresh white belts that you want to motivate to keep coming to the gym and train. I think a lot of us feel that way,
Yes.
especially me, because I didn't get those kid gloves, but it's harder to say for me because I was so aggressive.
Yeah, you
They
almost
had-
deserved it.
I 100% deserved
Yeah.
it. So they had to protect themselves against this jerk, you know.
An overly aggressive, powerful dude.
But I also think that it wasn't just me, right? It was
No, there's tons of people that do that. And the group that you were in, the school, I know the school that you were in. I met some people from that school. That's the culture of that school.
Yep, it's very competition focused.
Yeah.
You know,
And
very.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's the culture.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
to win.
Yep.
Get after it.
So I'm in the mindset like they're talking about, where I want to make their experience fun and exciting.
Yep.
The problem there is if you go too easy and it's their first day and they don't know anything about jiu-jitsu, they're going to think, what?
Oh, fuck.
I'm already good.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
This doesn't work.
Yeah. No.
And so you can't have that either. So it's,
You
and
know,
then there's the fact that you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
like what kind of person they are, what they know, their upbringing, their
you
aggression
do know
level.
one thing they're not going to do. Jiu-jitsu.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people like put on a white belt
Yeah.
and they're
You're
like,
who the fuck? What the hell?
I want to start over. Well, one, I'm a judo black belt, and two, I'm really a blue belt, but I'm starting over, and it's been a while. And then you're like, wow, they're better than me. You know what I mean?
His name's James.
We've all met you.
Nice guy, but
I almost did that because I was out for a while.
I don't think you can though.
I don't think you can either. I think
don't think that's right.
I think it's rude and disrespectful on one hand, but I also get it.
No, I understand the logic. Like,
It depends on the logic you're using. If it's because I want to sandbag, terrible.
Well, yeah.
If it's because you feel bad about where you're at and how long it's been and where you came from, then understandable, but also don't. Yeah.
Don't do that because it gives an unrealistic. People are going to roll with you a different way.
Yep.
And also, people you're going to take people's hearts out when they're like, oh, look, he's the same level as me. Oh, my God, he's killing me. They're going to want to give up.
Yeah, especially
I'm
you get
not
that.
that good. No.
You get that guy that's been there for like 2 years. He's a 4-stripe white belt. You know, he's feeling pretty confident. Then you that's been a blue belt for a year that's not feeling good about it anymore comes and destroys him. And he looks at your belt and you got no stripes on your white belt. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
I worked really hard for the last 2 years just to
yeah.
get destroyed by some new dude.
Yeah. No, not cool.
Yeah,
Don't
not
like
cool.
it.
I don't like that either. But it happens.
Yes.
So, point is, you never know what they're going to be when you first roll with them.
Yeah.
So you have to at least protect yourself. And usually within the first few seconds, you're like, oh, it's going to be like this.
Well, yeah, if they're going to, you feel it. If they're intense and you can feel them almost shaking immediately.
Or shaking.
Or literally shaking.
Austin.
Just, holy shit. That dude literally shook. And made me uncomfortable.
Human Sibian. Yeah, weird.
For sure.
But yeah.
Somebody make a meme of that.
They should do that.
Like put his head on top of the machine. Or something. I don't know. Just a thought.
Now you did it. Oh, man. So, yeah, point is you'll figure it out relatively quickly. All right, moving on. However, well, it is never a good idea to just go all out in an attempt to prove something to those with a lower skill level than yours, in which case you need to check your ego. It's also not a good approach to let them think that they've gotten it all figured out, and that can happen if you go too easy on them too often. And I think that's a better point. So if if you're not showing them what jiu-jitsu is capable of, and everybody is always going easy on them, they're like, oh, there's nothing to this.
Don't worry, there's enough assholes in school. Somebody will fuck them up.
This is true. Well, there's different gyms have different cultures, right? Yeah, when you go out west, it's very different.
Oh, yeah, it's all laid back.
It's very laid
Morgan
back. Yeah.
And Eric. A few other people have gone out there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's the Midwest wrestlers that you just get a lot of those people, and it's just a whole different culture in the area.
Even Northeast was a little different feel.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like lighter, more laid back? Okay.
Yeah, more laid back.
Okay, yeah.
Well, at least the schools I was at.
Fair enough.
There was only like 5 or something, I don't know.
So.
And one was Marcio school. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Marcio's awesome.
Yeah, so like I said, there's different gyms have different cultures. So if everybody in the gym has the culture of, hey, we're laid back, we're gonna go easy, and then somebody comes in like, oh, this stuff is easy, and I feel confident, in my abilities to win a street fight or a competition, you might have some issues.
A few.
Yeah. So
like getting ran the fuck over.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it's not good.
So they have a good point. Valid. So once you see them getting warmed up for BJJ and that they're getting some concepts and techniques down, it's time for you to smash them. It's your obligation to both them and to yourself. There's a fine line there somewhere.
I don't.
When you say smash, what exactly are you talking about?
Are we talking like, I guess physically smashing them?
So, So maybe you could replace smash with dominate. It's different, right? So I can physically dominate you without smashing you. Because when I hear smash in my head, I think hurt.
Yeah, same here. It's like the wrong word.
Yeah. So if I
feel the same way.
Yeah, because if I'm stacking you up on your neck and crushing your face and just like using all my strength, that's kind of what I hear when I hear smash. That's what I think. Yeah.
It's the first thing that comes to my mind.
But like if I'm rolling with Croyler, you could say he's smashing me, right? But he's not. He's dominating me physically, but I'm never getting crushed.
No, he's doing it technically.
Unless he wants to be funny, but that's just because we're boys.
Yeah, he will do that.
Yeah.
Sucks.
So he can crank up the knee on belly a little bit, the pressure if he wants, but generally he knows who he's rolling with so as not to hurt them.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You can make somebody look and feel stupid and it's still fun.
Yeah.
Or you can make somebody look and feel stupid, and they walk out limping, and they're injured, and they're miserable, and they hate you.
Which is not a thing.
Right.
Why would you do that? It is a thing, but why?
It is a thing. Yeah, a lot of times when I left class, I had a hard time getting in my car.
That's good.
This is back when I was healthy. Now I have a hard time getting in my car for totally different reasons.
Yes. Like after work. Or a slight stroll to the mailbox. Whatever. A more than 3 flight of stairs.
Yeah. I'm thinking my next house needs an elevator in it. I'm just saying. I'm going to throw that out there.
Fuck no. We're going to install one of those sweet chairs
just the chair
that goes up the fucking
like
chairs.
Up. Perfect. I'll take it.
Slow as fuck,
I'll take it. So yeah, I think his point is well received. I like it. Smash them. But let's not hurt them. Like, let's just physically dominate them where they can't do nothing.
Well, show them what jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Yeah, you can use your technique, your weight, your pressure appropriately, right? So if you happen to be a 200-pound man and you're rolling with a 130-pound man or woman or it doesn't matter, person, you can put an appropriate level of smashiness.
Yes.
You don't need to smash them the same way you're trying to smash the guy that weighs 230. Like I think that's not cool.
No. Well, I mean, it's just, what if you're 230?
Then it's okay. So, like I said,
what if you're 155?
Appropriate level.
What if you're 79 pounds soaking wet?
I kind of take that back because here's the thing. If you ever try to smash people like Jesse,
fuck.
Like he's 155
of pure unadulterated muscle.
You've seen it. You were there.
I watched it. That was impressive.
Now look, man. We were just having a friendly
buddy
screw
roll.
around,
It was a
buddy
funny
roll.
buddy roll.
Yeah,
is what that was.
I particularly was being a jerk to be a jerk.
Oh,
but
so
it was,
was he, dude.
But it was.
He was holding on to that Ezekiel.
Yeah,
like it was fucking dying.
It was mutual tomfoolery.
Oh,
My point is this: I weigh around 190, and he weighs 155. So I have him in mount, And I'm trying to do an Ezekiel choke on him, not working out, so I grab his arm that he's defending with, and I'm trying to push it to the ground. And I only need to go, 3 or 4 inches,
that
right?
was it. Oh, yeah.
That's it. I'm just trying to push his arm. Now I have size, weight, gravity, I'm on top, and I'm using every ounce of strength that I have.
Yeah,
and now look, I realize I'm an old man, I'm not like I used to be.
You're
but
still strong as fuck.
But I'm still relatively strong.
You're stronger than me, that's for sure.
Humble brag, I'm pretty strong.
Yeah, you are.
So,
I'm not. You only have to brag. I'll tell people that. You're fucking strong, man.
Point is, I'm trying to put his arm 4 inches down on the mat, and I'm giving it everything.
Yeah.
Everything I got. Did his arm move very quickly?
Fuck no.
Eventually, when I got it there and I tried to do the pass off and grab it, he just tore that thing right loose.
It made a snapping noise.
And I had to start all over again. And again, everything with gravity and all my pressure and
his
strength.
arm was just there,
and
hovering above the ground.
I'm shaking, and I'm telling him this too. I'm like, I'm gonna get it, and my teeth are gritted. I'm like, I'm getting this arm. Like, this is terrible jiu-jitsu.
Oh, it was terrible all the way around.
And I do not advocate this at all. This is stupid.
It was fun.
It was fun. Also stupid.
Way stupid.
Don't do it. It was awful. Point is, he's a little man who is deceptively not human. He's just not.
He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He's love that guy. He was the one that was showing my wife stuff.
Yeah, no, Jesse's.
My wife, my kid.
I'm gonna call him the class mascot. He's awesome.
He's a fucking samurai.
Awesome.
He's a modern day samurai.
For sure.
He will kill for you. Allegedly.
Let's not test that theory. We don't want to see what happens.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, but my point is
he's super protective.
My point, the appropriate level, right? Yeah. I realize that I outweigh him, and I thought I might have been as strong as him. That turned out to be false.
Yeah, that's false.
Yeah, that's false. But
I would have thought it was close. I really would have. Just rolling with both of you. But he doesn't really use strength that much with me because I don't. Because I don't.
Well, here's the thing. He uses the appropriate level of strength with you.
Yes.
And then with me, he also used it, which was
a lot.
I
was sitting 4 inches away just watching this is fucking ugly.
Oh, yeah.
I just kept saying, I'm like, this is fucking terrible jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Okay, at one point, Jesse was trying to get, it was an Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
From full extended arms away. I was like, no.
Not going to lie. It hurt.
Yeah, it did. You could tell it hurt, but you weren't going to tap from that shit.
No, I was going to fall asleep in his arms before I tapped that.
Because I was watching him is he Ezekiel with him? The last quarter of his fingers? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. That's impressive.
I'm an asshole bench pressing him away.
Bench pressing him out.
Eventually, his fingers are going to give.
Fucking, oh, man. And everybody's watching you're trying to kill each other. And I'm just this is a sweet battle of attrition you guys have going. Yeah. I'm laughing. Everybody else is what the fuck are they doing? I'm like, this is awesome.
I was so upset when that bell rang.
It was so funny. You guys both had your moments of complete fuckery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it was awesome.
I regret that. Not at all.
It was fun.
It was fun. Anyway, appropriate level of smashiness. Cool. Check. All right. Smash them. They need it. Yes. You owe it to your lower belt training partners to smash them. They need to make progress. And after a while, after they've gotten a feel for jiu-jitsu, it is your duty to train more aggressively with them. Now, of course, this doesn't mean you should go full beast mode and risk injuring them. Far from it. What it does mean, however, is that you need to go hard against them so that they can see what they need to focus on in order to become better. That I agree with 100%.
That I agree with. That's why the word smash is the wrong fucking word.
Yeah, I think the semantics here is what's screwing us up. Yeah,
that's all.
I actually like the article. It's not a bad. I think we're on the same page as just semantics. That's all that is. But I thought it was worth bringing up. Because I've heard that over the years of, hey, guys, don't go too easy on the white belts because I want them to know that you guys actually know stuff. If you're just rolling over like a dead fish and they're coming in here and they're in their first day, their trial period, and going, so I can beat up a purple belt?
Yeah.
That seems like this is worthless. I'll just find another school.
What is this, karate?
Shots fired.
Always.
Rude. All right. But yeah, there's a very, very valid point to that. You should kind of have that beginner class, right? Where you're showing them what's possible.
Yeah.
And you're also showing them, here's what it's like if I back off a lot so that you can have fun too.
Yeah.
And when you only have a few 3, 4, or 5 minute rolls at the end of class and you don't have time to debrief at the end of it, it's kind of hard to get the idea of just how hard somebody's going.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the first time I tapped out a air quotes. The first time I tapped out a purple belt when I was a white belt, I didn't, right? But I did because he let me.
Yes.
But in my mind,
I can remember my first one where he let me.
Yeah.
Like, it was Adam, and he was a 4-stripe blue. Like, he had been a blue for a while, and he let me get an arm triangle. Arm triangle. And I was like, yeah, you let me do that. And he's like, no, dude, it was good. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
he let me have it. There's no fucking question in my mind.
The chances are always very, very good that even if they didn't let you have it, they were rolling to a lesser level than they normally would.
Yes.
So even if you got it, like you caught them in it, right? You only caught them in it because they're not rolling like they would with somebody of their own level. Yeah. Yeah, so you should be able to let them know both ways. Like, here's me backing off, and here's me going a little harder.
Yeah.
And that's tough to do, especially when they're brand new.
Well, you want to know what? So I struggle because I have a tendency to throw people around. I didn't really realize that. Like Larry told me, he goes, you're the only person that I roll with that's smaller than me that can kind of throw me around. I'm like, oh, because I use my legs. And then people don't do that a ton, I guess, in our school.
I don't have any legs.
No, you don't. So people roll with Paul, they get really confused when they have to roll with me next.
Fuck,
4 appendages? This is bullshit. So I have a tendency to, like, I'm fucking throwing them around, just sweeping them, doing different sweeps every time I go to different ones. And then I realize I'm being a dick, and then I try to coach them instead. Like, oh, here's something you can try. Don't know why I do that. I'm just like, I'm not trying to coach them because I don't even do it. I'm just like, you should
Yeah,
let's just roll.
Yeah, I'm to the point now where I'm coaching people when they're doing dumb stuff or if they should do smart stuff.
If they're doing stupid shit, I'm like, here.
But often I'm like, hey, if I'm being a condescending asshole and you don't want help, just let me know. Like I can shut up and we can just roll.
Yeah.
Or I can try to help you if you're doing something that's not appropriate.
Well, and that's usually what I'm telling them is, like, just an example, a scissor sweep or a flower sweep. I do both of them. Mostly my scissor, but I use my flower a little different. You've seen my augmented one. And I was doing the flower sweep, pulled them, kicked it across, and the guy just kept falling for it. And in my head, I couldn't stop because it was fun. It's like, this is super fun.
Again!
And then I finally was like, wow, I'm being a complete prick to this dude because I could see it in his face like, motherfucker, you're doing it again. I'm like, sorry. So I started showing him how to stop me. I was like, here, let me show you one thing. You can stop me all the fuck. And he was like, so hopefully he wanted to know that, but yeah. Yeah,
and I think
that's what I mean. I fall into that. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking you up. Let me show you a way to not let me fuck you up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I try to do too. Like if I catch you in something a few times, I'm like, I'm going to stop you and explain. Maybe don't let me do this.
Or don't leave your hand here constantly.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. Like, it's on my chest. I'm like, I'm going to break your arm. Break it. Move it quickly.
Then you always get into the conundrum where if you're a white belt and you're coaching a white belt, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
On the same token, like if you're a 2-stripe white belt, right? Like, you know enough not to bench press somebody off you from underneath mount. So if somebody's doing that to you, it's probably okay to say,
it's cool that, like,
don't do that because
I did that too. Because that's what I always, my caveat to everything, because the only thing I ever talk about is things you, Croyler, Jesse, Chad, Ben, Morgan have shown me and told me, like, don't fucking do this.
Yeah.
Like, and here's why. That's the only information I pass. You've seen me. That's the only thing I pass on. I'm like, well, this is how you stop me doing this. I did it too. That's why I do it.
Right. Yeah, you want to be really careful with that.
Yeah.
But
because I'm a blue belt, 0 stripes.
Yeah, you want to be helpful, but you don't want to be like that guy.
Yeah, and I only do it. I haven't done it very often, but when I do it, I feel bad because I'm literally throwing them around, or I keep rolling to the armbar. I'm just like, stop doing it, Kip. But it's there. It's there. I can't stop myself.
Yeah. I started going to let them work their game on me, and then see how deep into this mission I can go before I can't escape it anymore.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I tried, a matter of fact, I started doing that after my whole anti-jiu-jitsu debacle that I got myself into.
Yes, yes.
So now I'm using no anti-jiu-jitsu, which means I got caught in a lot more submissions.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was working on submission escapes and working on proper frames, not just like grabbing my own collars and hoping for the best.
We should throw in a quick little tidbit about anti-jiu-jitsu again. I know we did a whole show.
We did do a whole show.
It seems to be spreading.
Yeah, stop grabbing your collars.
Don't grab your own fucking collars.
It's okay for a minute, right?
No, not for a minute.
But if
not for a minute.
It's okay for a second.
There you go.
But if that's
where the problem is.
But if that's where you want to stop, and you just pray that they screw up, like that's not good.
No, and so what happens is people grab their collars, cross-collar themselves, and then hold on for dear life.
But they don't do anything. They
and
just
they
sit
don't
there
do
or
shit.
lay there.
And like all they're trying to do is, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do.
They're trying to not lose.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Fucking lose people. Who cares?
So a lot of the mentality coming in is, I just want to survive. And it sounds like the right thing to say, right? But it's not, because by trying to survive, you're using anti-jiu-jitsu, which is teaching you bad habits.
Yeah, way bad habits.
Right. And then people are going to go through it. Like, they might only tap you out 5 times rather than 35 times, but you're going to lose anyway. But now you're not learning how to stop it from happening.
Yeah, last person I choked with their own hands.
Funsies.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah. I think a purple belt was the first one where I was cross-collaring myself, and he just, like, put his leg up, and kind of armbarred me without even using his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's easily defeatable if you know what you're doing.
Well,
so don't do it anyway.
So there's one, if you're on top, just take their elbows and shove them towards their throat. They'll choke themselves.
Lay on their elbows. And 3, 2, they're sleeping.
Yeah, because I've tried that one too. Or if they want to leave, if you can get just a little, get one arm totally in, then one hand stuck for a triangle, you can choke them out that way. It's basically choking with their own hands again.
I just started, because I'm working on leg locks anyway, so I just turn around and grab those. I'm like, all right, I'll grab these instead. You can't grab your own collars with your feet. You shouldn't be able to anyway.
My wife could pull it off.
There's probably people out there that can do that. It's sad. All right, moving on. Just imagine, if you're always going easy on them and letting them submit you, escape your pins and so on, there's a good chance that they'll think they're better than they actually are. And that is not good, as they'll stay ignorant of the possibilities and potentials for the improvement. Yes.
I think Paulie totally believed in that one. What do you guys think?
Here's the thing. If I get somebody in mount.
Yes.
And I don't want them to get out of mount, they're not getting out if they're significantly lower level than me.
Yeah, no.
Right, they're just not going to. But if they're trying the 1 or 2 mount escapes they know,
oh yeah,
I'm going to give them a certain level of resistance.
Oh, I give them a window.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. And then I'll let it work.
But if you're just thrashing,
no, then no.
Then I'm like, fuck no, I'm just going to weigh on you.
Yeah.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing right now.
If you're trying the jiu-jitsu that you know, I'm probably going to back off the throttle.
I love throttles.
Yeah, here's where the wheels start falling off the bus, ladies and gentlemen. I'll back off the throttle.
Good job, buddy.
I can't say that
Good
word.
Job, special guy.
God.
Killing it.
I'm great at talking. Words are hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get his point.
Oh, I do.
And I'm not mad at giving them a window of, no, you can't leave.
Yeah.
But eventually I like to be like, either coach them a little bit or let their jiu-jitsu work, as long as they're doing it correctly.
Yeah, if they're sloppy as hell trying the 2 elbows down, wiggle underneath, shrimp, bridge and shrimp.
Yeah.
Fucking let them do it.
Yeah.
Like if they're doing the steps, even though they're shitty and like bit by bit, because that's usually what it is. They're like, all right, elbows down. Okay. And then bridge. And then shrimp. It's like, oh yeah, that's not going to work, but you're trying.
Well, so Croyler taught me, which is my go-to mount escape. When I do it to him, he uses my mount escape to take my back.
Yeah.
So it goes from bad to worse.
Yes.
That's what jiu-jitsu is. There's always answers to answers, and it depends on where you are. So if you got a newer white belt trying to do the simple oompa, and he's got maybe not even a stripe, low-level white belt, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not working. It's kind of like we talked about one of the last shows, learned helplessness. Like, oh, this doesn't work, so I'm not going to try to use it.
Yeah, exactly. So
So that's kind of
to
where
an
I
extent kind of let them, because I do, like I told you I was in side controlling somebody, and I'm like, I just wanted to stay there, and I wanted to do the over the top, just stay there with my like on top of my knee, on my knees, over top. I realized I was doing it too well because I realized I was suffocating with their face and they weren't defending correctly.
That's just fun sometimes.
It was funny until I realized like I could feel his face going against my gi. And I'm like, oh, sorry, brother. You can't breathe, can you?
You'll live. It'll be okay.
Don't worry. It's an air gi. You can breathe right through it. GameNuts.com. Go get one.
GD10 at checkout. That's a free one, guys.
Yeah. Give you that one, Justin. You're fine. I do just really like their gis.
I mean, I would actually like to know on the Flick Chat thing, and I'd like Kroiler to let me know, like, are we on the right track here?
Yeah,
because
this could be totally fucking wrong.
We could be. Like, I am okay to admit this might be the wrong way of thinking, and this article could be 100% right. I don't know. But in my mind...
Oh, he's going to tell us we're fucking stupid.
We might be. We've been wrong a lot. You know, for sure. But I want to see somebody know what it's like to struggle, and with the same person know what it's like to have success.
Yeah.
Like, this move that you learned does in fact work. Probably not going to work on somebody that knows a lot more than you. But even though you tell people that, like, you're trying jiu-jitsu on people that know jiu-jitsu, it doesn't work as well.
Well, and that's,
a lot of people are...
Chad talked about that, too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say what you said.
Yeah, so Chad did really well at talking about that last class. Is he's like, yeah, well, he goes, remember, everybody, everyone in this room, or it was Jesse, one of the two. No, it was Chad.
It was Chad.
And
he's talked about this a lot.
Yeah, he has, and it's really good that he brings it up a lot. Is, hey, guys, everybody else in this room knows what you're trying to do. I know I ask you, and I want you to try the technique. Every time we learn a new technique, go ahead and throw it into a roll. We're not trying to win. I want to see you try it. And if you can get anywhere close to it, you're doing pretty good because everybody else in this room did that exact maneuver. So they're going to see it coming. And I'm like, that's a really good point.
That is a great point.
Yeah.
So...
And I failed, by the way, because I went right to doing the back take, took the back. I'm like, woohoo! What did you show me again?
Yeah.
What was that?
I find success if I can
went
get
right
half.
back to my own attack. I'm like, oh, I'll just do this one.
If I can get half the move right in a roll, I'm like, not bad. I'll keep working on it.
Perfect.
I think I was telling you that I finally landed a move on a white belt, pretty new white belt. And I was so excited because it's the first time I landed it in a live roll. Now I realized it was a pretty new white belt, but still, he was struggling. He was fighting back.
Yes.
And a brand new move that I'm trying to do worked. I'm like, cool. Finally. After all these months. It happens. But so that's a good point. You should know that you're doing jiu-jitsu on people that know jiu-jitsu.
And know exactly the jiu-jitsu that you're doing for the most part. If they're at your level.
Right.
At your school.
But there's still the level of newness. Like you need to know that it does work. So that if you get in a street fight and somebody gets mounted on you, you're going to try the jiu-jitsu that does in fact work, not the one that you know doesn't because nobody ever lets you try it on them or do it on them in a live roll.
Yeah, I agree.
Again,
I like it.
Yeah, again, I don't know if that makes the most amount of sense, but I don't know that it doesn't. Yeah. So, Flick Chat.
And once again, it's our show. Do what we want.
Say what we want. That's cool. All right. So, if you want your lower belt partners to progress at a more significant rate, you must smash them occasionally. Dominate them occasionally.
Yeah.
Let them know where they stand, what they can and cannot do when somebody is going hard against them, and then offer them solutions and techniques that they can utilize to become better.
Still, it's like show them where they're at. It's like, well, what if they're really shitty? Let's be real with this. They're really not picking up jiu-jitsu quickly. They love it, but they're terrible.
Oh, there's different. How do you say this not mean, right?
Oh, I have no problem. I'll say it unmean. No, I won't.
Okay. So some people come in and they just have fight IQ. Yes. They don't know jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But they know how to fight. They can roll. They know where they don't want to be.
They have a good sense of their body, balance.
They're what you call a pain in the ass to roll with.
Yes.
They can be a pain in the ass. And then you have the people that come in and you're like, wow, it's like rolling with a Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy. It's just they're doing nothing but they just flop. They just fold
fall over.
And it's like you're literally beating yourself.
Yeah, I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah, like And it's a sliding scale, but all things being equal, brand new white belt, they come in. You can either have one or the other or any scale in between.
Yeah.
So the one that's like really floppity, if you will.
Yeah.
How do you, in good conscience, smash them?
Yeah, I guess I'm just on the other side of the fence. Like, I get it. They need to know that it works. But you can do that without being a dick about it. Like, a simple submission shows that it works. Like, you don't have to just go submission, sweep. See, that's where you're at. Yep. You suck.
I think, well, the article is, I don't want to say short-sighted, but it's just too small of an article.
Yes.
To articulate what that is, like what level you should smash somebody at. So if you got a 60-year-old accountant who's never rolled a day in their life come in their first day or first week or month, smashing them is fine appropriately to what they are.
Yeah.
So winning, dominating them is okay, but not smashing them, grinding them, not letting them move or do nothing. I think that's a line I don't think I would personally be comfortable with doing.
I agree.
But if it's a 22-year-old Division I wrestler, I need to smash him to keep myself safe. But that's a different animal. That's a whole different thing.
And by the way, that can get you hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know, kid?
Shut up, Paul.
No, what happened? I forget.
I totally forgot what happened. So, but yeah, I like the article. I do. I think it's a good topic for us to talk about. But I think it's a little bit, like you said, it's a little on the short side of. It doesn't take into account enough stuff for me. It's like, well, like I said, if they really suck, like that could have been me. I have no clue. No one told me. Just terrible. It took me forever to pick things up, which could have been me. Well, I didn't. If you would have smashed me a bunch of fucking times, I would have stopped coming. I can almost guarantee that. If you would have just fucking like, this is where your place is. You suck. Like, fuck off.
You're not trying to set a pecking order so much as you're trying to show people possibilities
of what they can work towards or to expect in the future. So why does it have to be smashing and showing somebody where they're at? Yep. No, don't do that. Because showing somebody where they're at, if they're struggling, is just going to shine a light on their struggle.
Yeah.
Yay. Super helpful. Hey, you got a little bit of a poor self-image? Let me make that shit worse.
Are you already feeling bad about yourself? Come join our class. We'll make it worse.
Where's the salt in all your wounds? Come here. What the fuck?
Where's the salt in all your wounds?
Just saying.
If anybody wants to make a t-shirt, we'll sell that shit. Where's the salt in your wounds, jiu-jitsu?
Boom. Done.
Can we rename this podcast? Oh,
salt
Christ.
In your wounds.
Oh, man. I just want to I'm sorry. That one really got to me.
But it's fucking accurate.
Oh, you're not wrong. All right, moving on. Smash them. You need it. And let's not forget that it's also your obligation towards yourself that you smash lower belts. You need to do it so that you can test the diversity of your skill set and to get down to the newly learned techniques with more finesse. Okay. Importantly, it is an opportunity for you to develop further, to observe the technique you thought you already knew that could use just a little bit of help. For if you're not capable of executing them properly against someone who's a lower belt, how can you then expect to perform well against someone who is on the same level as you? That's all fine and dandy, right? We talked about that before. I talked about that earlier. I'm learning a new technique. I landed it on a white belt. That's fine. But I didn't hurt him to do it.
I didn't make him feel like shit.
I didn't demoralize him when I did it. I made sure the roll was back and forth and good and fun and even, and let him know when I turned it up, I could do whatever I wanted to him.
Yep.
And then I'd turn it down, I'd let him do some stuff and play and get to a certain point, and then I'd turn it back up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, in only my opinion, I think it's good to ramp up past their level and then go down below their level and then just kind of keep that
Walk
up and
that
down.
Line.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't mind that at all. But yeah, it's just great article. I'm not bashing it. It's just there was too many of the, well, make them know where they're at. Well, fuck that. And make you know where you're at. You should have a much better idea where you're at than having to roll with a white belt and jack them up.
Yeah.
Because 6 months in, you can jack up a newbie.
True.
You know what I mean?
We did talk about that on a previous podcast about
Yeah.
how to utilize white belts, and that's kind of part of it, right? You have to learn techniques on white belts that you can physically dominate to
Yes.
get them to work. And then you start slowly progressing through the ranks and stripes and all that kind of fun stuff until it's at a decent level where you can use it against people around your own level.
Yeah.
So, great idea. You don't need to demoralize people on the way, but you do need to utilize people on the way. So, yes, you can use lower belts.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't have a problem with that. But make sure that it's a give and take. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yep.
I totally agree with that. Is this article over yet?
Almost. Why are we running over?
No.
Because I wanted to talk about
No, we got more time.
Mat Enforcers, too, if we have time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can make it a whole different show.
No, I don't think we can make a whole show
I
out
don't
of Mat
think so
Enforcers.
either, yeah. I actually did a small...
And it kind of fits with us.
I did a small YouTube video on Mat
Yeah, I saw
Enforcers,
that.
but I want to read exactly what Paul Elliot wrote on this because he articulates it like only Paul Elliot can do.
Sounds
So,
good.
All right. Let's see. Or your obligation. Develop further. That's it, actually. The article's done. The rest of it is selling me stuff. The Leg Lock Anthology 50/50 by Lachlan Giles.
Oh, my
Learn-
God. If I hear that dude's name one more fucking
Oh,
time.
everybody is
Good.
on his nuts lately.
Good Lord. I mean, I get it. I watched his matches. It was really cool. A Giant Killer. Get the flip past it. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
No offense.
No offense.
He's amazing.
It's kind of like that
he
song.
was amazing. I mean, honestly, to do what he did was amazing.
It's like
but,
that. It's like that song you hear that you love, and then they overplay it. I'm like, all right, I get it.
But you want to know what though? Lachlan was great before he did all that shit. You know what I mean? Like but all of a sudden you're like, wow, he's the biggest. No.
When he beats Gordon Ryan, then I'll be a dick rider. Until then,
Yeah, Gordon Ryan won twice at that same tournament. 2 golds.
yeah,
So, yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
at that level, I don't even like Gordon Ryan. But good dang Lord.
You can't
That's fucking
deny
impressive.
how technical that dude is.
Now he did win and act like a complete fucking tool bag
I'm the best, baby.
and flips everyone off.
I mean, he's got a lot of haters, so I get it. Like, fuck the haters. And
You
all
want
that.
to know why you
Do
have
your thing.
haters? Because you act like a douche.
I think it also gets him paid. Like,
No, it does.
I'm on board. Like, I'm all about the being nice, right? I like that. I like the family friendly aspect of jiu-jitsu. I also understand that those guys aren't getting paid as much as people like Gordon Ryan,
Which I get.
So, I mean, do your thing, bro. Make your money. And I guess it's the haters problem. Like, if you want to jump on that train and be the internet troll that shits on them, then that's kind of like your problem.
Well, you don't hear a ton from his competitors about him like that. Not a shit ton. Like,
what are they going to say? I'm going to kick his ass and then lose to him? Like,
but
that's
what I'm
their
saying
option.
is they're not talking like, oh, he only wins because of this. He only wins because of that. It's the fucking people on the outside. They're like, fuck him. He's all steroided up there. They all are.
Have you
seen
any
them?
of them?
Not all of them, because you got like Gary Tonin doesn't look like he does.
So Gary Tonin, no, but he's still jacked.
He's still pretty jacked.
Yeah.
But most of them are fucking ripped.
Some of those guys, I'm like, I don't know if that's natural. To be fair, I don't know that
they are
not.
elite athletes.
Sometimes people are just made different. You know what I mean? Like, we all had that kid in high school with a mustache when he was 12. It's like, you just have more testosterone than the rest of us. So
Yeah.
I get it. So I think a lot of people like to throw other people under the bus just because they don't have that same genetic makeup, maybe.
Which is true. I just think there's too many of them.
Yeah, it would seem like that for sure, but I don't know, who am I saying?
But then you see people like Marcio. I said it. I talked about him. That dude still looks fit as fuck with his shirt off.
Who?
Like Marcio.
No, really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Fuck, dude. I was just like, damn, dude's fit.
I don't have any self-control, otherwise I could look like that.
You could. I could not.
No, you're built weird.
I'm built shit. Everybody's like, oh, you look good. You're svelte. I'm like, yeah, I'm fat, skinny. What's up?
You are. Like 2x4-ish.
Yeah, I'm very
like a plank.
There's not much
like a
me.
plank. See, me, it was Halloween, right? It's Halloween stuff. The kids are getting candy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm eating all that.
Oh, I know you will.
All of it.
Well, if you want more, come over to my place. Because
I will.
Sid goes to every house and she eats almost none of it. She's not a big candy eater.
If it's in front of me, it's gonna get got. it's gonna go.
Yeah, you do
I
smash
just
it when it's
can't.
in there.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I have a problem.
Yeah, you do.
It's kind of
I
like,
like it.
yeah, I'm like a candy alcoholic.
A little bit.
It's terrible. All right, so that was a great article. I agree with most of it.
No, I do. It's just the wording and things like that I disagree with.
Yep. If you have a way to do it, this is going to be on YouTube. Leave comments. Let us know what you think. If you agree, disagree, blah, blah, blah. The dads at grapplingdads.com or get on the Flick Chat app and join the conversation.
Grappling Dads, one word.
One word.
Done and done.
Done and done.
And by the way, thanks for everybody that's, listened to our bitching and whining. And some of you. Go to YouTube.
A few of you.
Yeah.
All too few have gone to YouTube and signed up. So for you few that do,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our Patreons.
Oh, God.
You guys are
awesome.
Like, awesome.
Like I said, I don't know how to thank you. Like, there's no words. Because
it fucking still blows my mind.
Yeah, it
I know
does.
we say that every single time, but it still does.
Yeah, it means a lot. It really does. So hopefully,
like when a sponsor wants to give us money and stuff, like getting kind of used to that.
I'm not. It's still weird to me.
It's still fucking weird. I'm lying. So weird. People are like, oh, do you need more stuff? You're like, what?
It's kind of like Roy asked me, are you getting used to your purple belt yet? No. It feels weird every time I put that bitch on. It really does.
It does. So anytime a sponsor does anything for us, we're amazed. But to have you guys spending your hard-earned money, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
And we love it. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we talked about Paul Elliot.
Good call. All right. Paul Elliot.
I love that guy too. He's a patron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mat enforcement. So if we talked about dealing with white belts and smashing them, not smashing them, semantics, blah, blah. Every now and then you get that person who is new, comes into the gym, doesn't know what they're doing, but they have to prove a point. They have to win, and they don't care at all about your personal safety. They give zero regards, no fucks given.
Yeah.
They're going to smash and hurt you. Sometimes it's because they don't know any better. Sometimes they do it, they don't care. It doesn't matter why they're doing it. They need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And now
this is the last line of defense before they get kicked out of the school.
Yeah. So, and sometimes it's not always them, right? Sometimes as a newer white belt, they're like, well, they're beating me up and they're being a bully. It's like, no, this is you being, I don't want to say it's you being a sissy, but sometimes you have to toughen up a little bit, right? Not always the case, but sometimes it is.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree.
Okay.
It's man, woman, child. It goes for all three.
But that's why you aren't the mat enforcer. That's why there's this system in place.
Yeah.
So, like I said, sometimes you get the person maybe from another gym, whatever. He comes in here and he's just
All-American
wrecking.
wrestler.
Yep,
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, wrecking everybody,
one of those.
hurting everybody.
Yep.
It's just it's becoming an issue. So, all right, moving on. Let's frame dealing with miscreants differently. Idealized civil society has a good template for dealing with those that don't want to be civil. If someone wrongs you in some way, the justice system exists to impartially hand out deserved retribution. Vengeance is not yours to apply in civil society. Unfortunate, sometimes yes, but it is what it is. Your peers decide if the infraction is serious enough to merit punishment, and a judge decides the appropriate level. The sentence is carried out by people that have nothing to do with the original event. All makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the one trying to be judge, jury, and executioner as a white belt,
you're too connected. You're too connected to it.
You're doing it wrong. This isn't how it should work in the gym. All right. You always have the right to stop aggression, but not to escalate and exact vengeance. Except in some cases in Texas, bless them. If you cross that line, you have left civil society just as your aggressor has left civil society. This isn't to say that escalation isn't justified. You can be a Dexter-style vigilante. What
the fuck did you just say? Vigilante?
Jesus, just...
Vigilante. That sounds like a really bad Italian car.
Shut your mouth, Kip.
Oh my God,
Vigilante. Shut it.
I can't move past that.
And maybe...
Vigilante.
I hate myself.
Oh my God, that was awesome. Oh my God, that was the best thing ever.
It's fragile. It's French, I think.
Oh.
For those too young to know that reference, I don't like you either.
Oh my God.
I'm moving on.
Vigilante.
Shut up. And maybe even enjoy the vengeance. But you'd better be sure you are completely in the right and the recipient has no value.
I'm fucking crying, dude. It's not my fault.
I'm trying not to look at you. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see what's going on, and it's messing me up even more.
I'm sorry, I'm just crying. That was awesome. Because you haven't made a slip up like that, Dad. And you called your own attention to it. You're like, vigilante?
I can't believe.
And then you said it again, like slower.
I did.
Vigilante?
I'm like, did I really just say that? I did. Yeah, that's the words. Oh, Christ.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
So, Paul, your article is great, bro. If I wasn't reading it, it'd be perfect. Hold on. Okay, moving back.
Okay, go ahead. I'm good.
Okay, and maybe even enjoy the vengeance, but you'd better be sure you are completely in the right and the recipient has no value to civil society. Let's pull this back to jiu-jitsu. You always have the right to stop aggression. This is why the tap must always be respected, no matter why the person is tapping. Once somebody ignores the tap or they don't give you a chance to tap, they have broken the rules of a civil training environment. The black belt or top dog in the room is responsible for being judge, jury, and sometimes executioner. Mat enforcers are often given the task of being executioner and sometimes the jury. If you exact vengeance or appear to be doing so, you will be judged. If you are a lower belt, your motives and actions are naturally going to be questioned because of your inexperience. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's a hard but necessary truth. Mat enforcers are going to be judged less, even if they're playing the role of jury and executioner. As long as the black belt in the room is directing the mat enforcer, it's just a case of monitoring the process and making sure the enforcer doesn't become a Dexter. I have not watched that show, so
really,
I'm going to have to now.
Oh
apparently.
Man, not all the seasons are good.
No,
watchable. They're all watchable.
Okay.
But it's a good show. I enjoyed it. But anyways, serial killer masquerading as this doesn't screw up the show because it's not a secret. As a forensic expert for the cops. It's not bad.
Interesting. All right, yeah, I'll give that a try. That sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, you would like it. It's a good show.
I heard about it, never knew what it was about.
The ending blows dickhole. But you won't see it coming.
A lot of do. So
you won't see it coming, though.
Does it blow worse than Game of Thrones?
No.
Good. All right, I'll watch it. The takeaway here is that as a lower belt, your default reaction should be nothing more than to defend yourself, which includes tapping or refusing to partner with somebody you suspect will not be civil towards you. The upper belts have more experience at both protecting themselves and correctly judging the level of someone leaving the rules of a civilized training environment. If you believe you have been wronged, then you take your case to the black belt judge and let him deal with the situation impartially. If they say you need to toughen up, you either need to toughen up or find a training environment that suits your style better. Do your best to toughen up because jiu-jitsu is hard and it requires you to test your limits.
Yes.
Fair.
Agreed.
As long as it's a healthy process and you are given the tools to get tougher, then stick around. Otherwise, feel free to take your business elsewhere with a clear conscience. If the black belt sides with you, then it's out of your hands and someone else's responsibility. As you get better, the best way to defend yourself is with superior technique, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, so that's actually really well worded. Like
it really is.
I couldn't have said it better myself, clearly. Vigilante. Can we end this show, Kip? This is just...
oh, man.
It's bullshit, and I'm going to go...
that was
drink.
Fucking classic.
Subsequently worse than anything I've ever done before.
Vigilante might be worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a close second if it's not first.
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked it a lot.
It's fragile.
Really stopped the show right in its tracks.
I have no words. It's terrible.
No, but he's right. And it's really well put. Not oddly enough, one of our mat enforcers is Morgan. And she's like the preemptive one. They're like, this guy's got way too big of a head on his shoulders. Go take care of that. Or gal. Doesn't matter. We just haven't ran into that.
So it's always great to have like a purple belt girl be the mat enforcer to rain down justice on some new big meathead asshole that comes in.
Yeah.
Just, dude. Because a lot of them, they really need that level of humbling.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
Dude, she's
absolutely perfect when that happens.
She's awesome too. Like at it. because it's just her natural style.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm on top of you. You can't get me off here, can you?
Why are you so stuck?
Sucks.
Why are you hitting
Sucks.
yourself?
Yeah. I'm just going to poke you in the ear. Wet willy, bitch.
We got a couple of questions on, so I posted the shorter 3-minute version of this to the YouTube.
The YouTube.
Yes.
And
we got a couple of questions on that. So one is, what if you are the mat enforcer, what then? So I actually wrote, you'll have the experience to know what then. I'm not the enforcer, but I've been doing it long enough to know when someone had enough chances to change their behavior and refuses to do so. In that case, the enforcer makes the role as miserable as possible for the offending party, then asks if that was fun. The answer should be no. If it's not, enforce harder.
Enforce harder.
Then explain that's how you make others feel. In the words of Croyler, the beatings will continue until morale improves. And of course I misspelled beatings. I said bearings because I'm really stupid. But
yeah, whatever.
The point is,
came across.
Beatings will continue until morale improves. I think that's a great line.
Yes, it is.
Another guy, how do you know if you're the mat enforcer? Are there varying degrees of mat enforcers? I said, I don't know. Like, you don't know. And Scott says, I would think if you have to ask that you are not. I'm not mad at that. All right, cool.
That was great, though. If you have to ask, you're not the
mat
enforcer.
Usually you'll probably know.
I would
like, hey, Dad, can you beat that guy up? He's kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Over and over. I've told him not to, but he keeps on doing it.
He keeps doing it.
He keeps neck cranking me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, don't be the guy that has to be enforced against.
Oh, God, that would suck.
Yeah.
But those people, man, because we've seen it a few times in our gym, and
I think a lot of it, I'm gonna go with the majority. I'm not sure on a whole 60-40 split or nothing like that, but if somebody needs enforced upon, most of it's due to lack of understanding and body control. I really think that.
Which, to
an
extent, go ahead.
I don't think a lot of people just want to hurt people. I'm sure some do. Like, they want to go home and tell their partner or their friends or buddies, I screwed up a blue belt or a purple belt or a bunch of big, huge dudes. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's hurting that they're trying to do. They're definitely trying to fucking win.
Yep.
And they'll do whatever they can to win. And when you will do that and you don't have enough fucking ammunition, you are just an asshole. You're literally just powering me.
Yeah.
And fuck those type of people, because I wonder how when you propose this, I wanted to say I don't know how well mat enforcers work. Now, as he said, if it's the black belt and it's a man running the school or one of the instructors, yeah, it should work, because that should make you feel fucking terrible that your coach has to beat the shit out of you and have a conversation with you. But if it's just Morgan just fucking you up, it's like, well, I don't know how well the type of person that would be in and need to be enforced on, that type of mentality would even respond.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Unless the whole school does it to him. Like everybody. So he knows right where he is. It's just, I just always question, like, how well does that work? Because I know I watched one guy get completely jacked up by somebody, the mat enforcer, and that person still does that shit. Still does the same shit.
So maybe, I'm going to go out on a limb, you need to have a conversation, right? So the first thing is you talk to them. Like, hey, we don't do that here. Here's how you're making other people feel.
Yeah, but that's why I brought it up.
Yep. So I think the conversation will probably go a lot farther to help somebody than just being like, oh, I guess I'm going to just go hard on them with no conversation, right? So if they don't know why they're getting their ass kicked, they're just thinking, oh, okay, so they do that to me, so it's okay for me to do that to them.
That's exactly what I was saying. Because everyone thinks of the mat enforcer. I think when you say the mat enforcer, I just feel like it's somebody with a lot more skill that can beat the crap out of most people in the school if they turn it up. Man, woman, child, doesn't matter. That's what I've envisioned. That
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so that person's not usually seen as a talker. Maybe they are. It just depends on who they are. But I swear people get fed up enough and they don't like conflict enough as a group. This is not our school. This is just people in general, because I've been a manager for a long time. The reason I was a manager, a decent manager, is I had no problem with conflict. You know that. I will fucking come right to your face.
I have noticed.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Very understated. Keep my thoughts to myself a lot. But I do it in the right way most of the time. If I'm pissed off, I'm a complete asshole. I'm aware.
Know thyself.
Yeah. No, I'm an asshole. Well, don't really have to. Paul tells me. You're being an asshole. Stop it.
Yeah, please
but
stop.
It's so difficult. It's kind of what I do.
It's kind of like once the fuse goes, it's like, well, it's hard to come back.
I have
from
a
that.
decent fuse too. I really do. But yeah, I get pissy. Anyways, little whiny bitch, otherwise known as. But it's just, I think when you think of enforcers, it needs to be accompanied with a conversation. And
Agreed.
Every time, like, I don't care if it's before, like if you want to try a few conversations, which I understand they don't work with that type of person that needs enforcing, a simple conversation of, that's not what we do here. They're going to do it as soon as your back's turned. Again, I know from experience that's what they're going to do.
I've actually had that. So I've had new people come in, and I'm explaining, hey, look, we're not going to go 100%. We're going to go 50%. We're going to not use strength.
Yeah.
And I will show them. If I grab them and I'm using all my strength and everything's shaking, you can feel it all the way up in my, my biceps and my shoulders. I'm like, I'm using everything, and it doesn't do anybody any good. Least of all me. Now I get the same grip, and I have the same grip. You still can't get my grip off. Yeah. But everything else is nice and loose. And now, it's going to go so much better. I'm relaxed. You have to learn to relax. And then I do like a 5-minute diatribe on this, relaxing, being cool, not hurting, and then slap, bump, and then 2 seconds in the roll, they're trying to murder me. I'm like, did you hear nothing I said?
Yeah, like I said, that type of mentality, like, I have to win. I'm going to win, period. You're not going to get over on me. Mm-hmm. Those people that really don't listen to your conversation. They will. Yeah, totally got it. Yeah, totally get it. I'm going to kill you now.
No, I've actually had that exact experience. So, no, you're right. And it's difficult for somebody like at my level. Like, I can defend myself and stuff, but I'll even have to like amp it up to defend myself depending on the level of aggression and experience and who and what
all the stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not like, I don't have that black belt level skill where I can do whatever I want, however I want, and make it just seem smooth and seamless. I'm not there yet. I'm just simply not, That's why I wouldn't make a good enforcer.
Yeah. Neither would I.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not those guys.
No.
At all.
No. But so I think as a whole, as a jiu-jitsu community, we could really serve ourselves better at dealing with these type of people, because most schools are just like, get the fuck rid of them or beat them up in a way. Not really beat them up, obviously, but just send in the mat enforcer, get her done. Now, I know Croyler's not that way. Croyler have a conversation. I know Chad's had a conversation and the person didn't listen. That's how that got through. But I think it has to be a little bit more effective. It almost has to be planned out. Like, this is how we deal with people that are in this mindset of having to win and going through whoever to get there. Do
you think it would be helpful? Like, you and I kind of became fast friends, right? And I could tell you mid-roll, hey, you're being a shithead right this very second.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're getting that feedback. So when they're being a shithead, they don't realize it. They're not realizing it. People aren't telling them in the moment that they're doing it. Just like when the roll's done, and they're like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
Like, I simply don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're saying words that I don't understand on a mental or physical level.
I think so. The people that are more good-hearted trying to win, like, they're just super competitive and those are the same people that are like, just trying to survive, bro.
Yeah. Well, like, when I was dealing,
they mean well.
Yeah.
They mean that. They're like, oh, literally trying to survive. Well, your idea of trying to survive is punching me in the face by accident. Like, I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was dealing with you when you first started, you were like anybody else. Yeah. Spazzy, flaily, everything was muscle and strength. Yeah. And I would tell you that, and you were still doing that until I told you that during the roll while you were doing it. And you're like, oh. And it didn't fix it right away, but you were aware of it now. Yeah. So now you could catch yourself doing it and then slowly wean that out of you. And I think that's how it goes for a lot of people.
I got past it quicker than most because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was really early.
Yeah. So helping somebody become self-aware I think is more important than just smashing them.
Yep.
Being the mat enforcer, like,
Now,
watch this.
Yep, and I'm sure there are guys, and like I said, those are the guys that are like, I'm just trying to survive here, bro. Those guys, like, we get that. The men and women that go, I'm just trying to survive, because I've heard it from both. I'm talking, then there's that other sect, the people that I'm talking about that literally, the kid called JP that was in our school, he literally would do anything he could to think he was winning. Like, he wouldn't tap. I turned him blue. I'm just like, what the fuck? I looked around, and he's literally turning blue, and I had to let go. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then every roll was his forearm in my freaking mouth. Like, just boom. And he would push on my face with his hands.
Yeah, when they started,
he just had to do everything because he didn't want to lose. Same kid went to another school and said he was a blue belt.
Oh, wow.
Did you hear about that?
No, I did know that he put his chin in my eye socket and then pulled my head and tried. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is a thing. Yeah,
that's something.
Yeah.
He literally went to another school, said he got a blue belt from Black Line. The coach, suspected something was fucked up, so called Chad because he said, I got it from Black Line. And he was like, hey, is he a blue belt? He's like, nope, never gave him one.
Wow.
Yeah, because he didn't know jiu-jitsu at all. Like, he didn't take the time to learn it at all. So, but that's the kind of person I was talking about. Like, no conversation, no ass whooping, because he got plenty. He got ass whoopings from me, and I'm not the mat enforcer.
No, you're right,
or even close.
Because everybody stopped going easy on it because they knew what he was.
Morgan beat the fuck out of him,
and he just wouldn't stop.
No, Morgan's just like, well, I'm gonna take care of this, and she needed to because he was literally hurting people.
Yeah.
And I watched it. She smashed the shit out of him. Literal smash, right word. Smashed him. Submit, covered him up, made him feel like he couldn't do anything. He still did that shit.
So he was kind of like a rabid dog attacking a porcupine.
Yeah.
He was just
didn't give a fuck. Just going to keep doing it. Oh, that one hurt. Doing it again.
Ow.
Every time I bite you, I get hurt. That was him. So, yeah, I mean, those are the guys I was talking about. Some guys, they just aren't really savable. Like, conversations, ass whoopings, there's just not much you can do with them. And that's few and far between, though. There aren't too many. We've seen, one?
We're the quintessential jiu-jitsu is for everybody people.
Yes.
But if you're going to be the people that hurt everybody else and keep them from being able to train in jiu-jitsu because you're injuring your training partners, and like Paul said, if you're the guy that causes somebody else to not be able to train jiu-jitsu anymore, shame on you.
Yeah.
Like there's no words available to say how much shame should be upon thee.
Well, yeah, and also it's find the right school then. If that's what you're doing and your idea, because then
they're out there.
There are. That's what I'm saying. There's competitive schools that will. Now, I'll tell you right now, I've met some of them. They will beat the shit out of you. You can come in with your big high horse. They're going to kick you off that. Even if you keep getting back on that horse, they're going to keep kicking you off.
And some
but the only thing is,
really like that.
That's
too.
what you might need.
That's that culture, and that's
maybe that's what you need when you're that type of person.
I mean, that's why you should have the choice of going to whatever different school. Like some schools are more like I've seen it glorified online, and not for me. I don't think it's the right way to train. I really don't.
I don't either.
I think it's wrong, personal opinion, but I think your jiu-jitsu career is going to be short if you train like that, and you're not going to learn as much if you train like that. But if that's your thing, there should be that thing for you. Go there.
Yeah, find the school. Cool. Find the school that fits you. Go in and ask if they're a competition style school, because that'll fit you better. It really will. So that's part of us wanting it to be for everybody. But don't go into a school, just like Paul said, and don't be that guy. Don't take jiu-jitsu away from somebody else because you want to win.
Right.
And you want to go, I'm not trying to win. Yes, you are.
Well, worst case scenario, right? So there always might be a guy that's more willing to do that. Like we have a few people in our gym that are like, I'll go 100%.
Yeah.
I will crank it. You go as hard as you want.
Yep.
I don't want to do that with you. So if you can not do that with me, but find your equal, right? Yeah. There's somebody with an equal mindset of you to do that in that gym, fine.
Well, Dave and Rob are perfect that way.
Yeah.
They're best buddies outside of the gym,
for sure,
too.
Yeah.
But if you ever watch those two, they fucking got after it every single time because they had the same build, the same idea.
Yeah.
Just like, I want to fucking go 100%. Yeah.
But they're not doing that with me.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Like if you tell, like Rob will if you don't tell him. But most certainly, as soon as you tell him, because he just needs to know.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler mentality. He's a badass.
Yeah.
if you tell him though, he's kid
Cool
gloves,
shit, yep.
dude. He's fucking awesome. So he knows his shit. He's
Yeah.
a blue belt and a solid blue belt.
Yeah, Jamal's the same way. He's like a UFC fighter. Like if he wanted to ruin me, he could.
He could.
Yeah.
And I've annoyed him enough that he tried killing me. But it's the same thing. So it's find your equal if you can't be like Rob where you can shut it off, and you got a problem. Because Rob can go 100% every single time if you want to. And if you don't, he won't. So try to be like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to be super aggressive, be aggressive with the right people at the right time.
Yep, that's where that having a conversation comes in. Like, hey, what kind of role is this going to be, bro?
Yeah.
what are we
going psycho?
What are we going to do here?
Give me a 1 to 10 on this.
Do we need more mat space?
I hate that. The guys are going so hard, they're in your space. Like, fuck you.
Is it that important that you win? That you're going to kick me in my head?
They always kick Paul in the head.
I'm a foot magnet.
Yeah,
right in my face. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's your face.
All right, that's all I got.
That's all I got. I thought it was fun.
Excellent.
Anything else? Nothing?
I got nothing.
Like, follow, share, subscribe.
Subscribe on YouTube. For the love of everything holy.
We will keep whining and bitching
And
about it.
thank you for listening.
Promise.
Again, thanks for the Patreons. Thanks to our sponsors. Check them out. All that kind of fun stuff.
Do it up. We love them. We love you guys.
Bye.